So to the sole fixture on Sunday then, it was the big one at Old Trafford, Manchester United against league leaders Liverpool. Team news, Mohamed Salah injured, so he wasn't on view. Origi was in for him. Alisson was back from injury in goal for the Scousers. Still no Pogba, but Martial was on the bench. Late scare for United in the warm-up. Tungsay, he was relieved by Rojo in defence. And everyone expecting really lambs to the slaughter. However, an encouraging opening by United. First 10 minutes, they had more possession, they looked up for it. Pereira was very influential. And McTominay, good support. First effort by Liverpool on 12 minutes, a pretty tame affair by Wijnaldum, easy for De Gea. And but then we got to the 15-minute mark and Liverpool started to assert their authority through possession, and the pattern was really established. Liverpool possession, United on the break. Origi was causing a few headaches down the left for Wan-Bissaka, and also Lindelof, who looked really off the pace. At 24 minutes though, McTominay's shot, pretty easy for Alisson, and by the half-hour mark it was really quite scrappy. The defences were bossing it. Not too many really class passing moves. And then we had a break from Liverpool. Mane put it through to Firmino, but his effort was easily saved by De Gea. And he saved from a Firmino header a little later, although Firmino had been flagged offside. And then the breakthrough on 37 minutes. They were back just outside the Man United penalty area. There was a sort of a meeting of Origi and Lindelof. He managed to get the ball. Origi fell down in a heap, but the referee waved play on. And United, quick on the break, released James on the right, and he scampered off. And he produced a beautiful cross right through the penalty spot. And Rashford got a yard on Van Dijk, poked it home, and United were 1-up after 37 minutes. It wasn't against the run of play either. However, 5 minutes later, a complete mess with Lindelof and De Gea, and Mane managed to score, although the VAR ruled him slightly offside and it also hit his hand, so it was chalked off. Clock was hopping mad, but that was the half-time interval. United up 1-0. So I have to say that Liverpool in that first half, their usual dominating fullbacks, Robertson and Alexander-Arnold, hadn't really featured, and this reflected the high pressing of the United midfield. And so I have to say, work to do for Liverpool really if they wanted to match Manchester City's record wins that they were going for. Into the second half then, much the same pattern, possession from Liverpool. United were starting to get penned back more, but the pressure from the midfield on Liverpool's stars meant that they just weren't comfortable, and we weren't seeing those lovely interlinking moves by Liverpool. And on the hour, a great crossfield ball found Rashford, and he cut inside, and his shot was just a whisker wide. Then on 71 minutes, Klopp had seen enough, and he put Lallana on, and it certainly made a difference. Earlier he substituted Ox-Chamberlain, who had one snapshot that hit his own player and went wide. But Lallana certainly had a big impact. He seemed to link very well with the full-backs. They came into it more. Martial replaced Rashford, who was tiring, but then finally Robertson got one of those crosses in, those dangerous crosses, and it went right across the defence. Maguire was a bit slow, and Lallana, running in at the far post, prodded it home past De Gea, and it levelled the tie 1-1. He was really unmarked, but a good goal. From there on, Liverpool were going for the winner, and United were hanging on, really. Oxlade-Chamberlain did have a shot that went a little wide. Alexander-Arnold also shot just over. But United hung on. Final score at Old Trafford was Man United 1, Liverpool 1. So Liverpool's lead at the top is cut to 6 points. Final match of week 9 then, and it was at Bramall Lane, the Monday night match, Sheffield United versus Arsenal. Team news, 2 changes up front for the Blades. McGoldrick was in and Mousset. For Arsenal, Willett was in for Ceballos. The only change for the Gunners. Lacazette was on the bench. He's now recovered from that injury. Into the action, 2 minutes, an early promise from the Blades, but to be frank, the first 20 minutes of highlights, there weren't any. No clear-cut chances then. And then Kolasinac, an overlap from him, and his cross found Pepe, but somehow Pepe managed to miss the ball completely. It was a golden chance for the Gunners, though. And on 25 minutes, a corner for Sheffield United. Norwood took it, and his strike went to the back post. Mousel out jumped the Arsenal defence, and Leno, flat-footed on the line, failed to do anything about it, and it went in the corner, and Sheffield United were 1 up. 5 minutes later, a challenge by the Blades on an Arsenal player, Saka. It caused a lot of huffing and puffing from the Arsenal, but the referee saw it completely differently and saw that Saka had dived. In added time, Xhaka, who was captain for the night, he struck a sweet shot from distance, but Henderson was good to handle, pushed it wide to safety. Into the second half then, and the Blades were looking comfortable with their 1-0 lead. And Fleck, a strike, was just inches wide of the post from 30 yards. And a second effort from Fleck on 66 minutes, and Leno was a little fortunate after he fumbled the initial shot, but recovered to get it and grasp it a second time. Lacazette came on for Arsenal. They lacked any sort of punch up front, and Aubameyang was virtually anonymous. And on 72 minutes, a free kick from Pepe hit the target, but Henderson dealt confidently with the catch. A minute later, and another effort went wide by Pepe. 75 minutes, Sharp had come on for the Blades, and he laid the ball off to Norwood, whose shot from distance went well wide. Then last real chance of the night, across to the far post on 88 minutes, and Chambers' effort was blocked by the sturdy Sheffield defence, which had really been superb throughout, and the referee blew the whistle. Sheffield United had held on and beaten Arsenal by a 1-0, and to be perfectly honest, Arsenal was so toothless that Sheffield United deserved the victory, and so Wildy was absolutely thrilled, Chris Wilder. So there we are then. Final score, Sheffield United 1, Arsenal 0. So that's the week 9 done and dusted. The headlines: Liverpool dropped 2 points at Old Trafford, so their league is cut to 6. Bottom of the table, Watford managed to get a point at Spurs, and Leicester into 3rd after their controversial win over Burnley, and Arsenal slipped to 5th. Chelsea are up to 4th. Highlights of the week, goal of the week. Well, I'm going to give it to Jamie Vardy for his winner against Burnley. Terrific header. There are other contenders. I have to say I did like the Rashford goal, of course, but let's give it to Vardy, particularly in front of that emotional crowd at the King Power. So that's my lot for week 9. We'll be back again next week with the prediction show for week 10.